How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Untitled Podcast here with your host, Brandon. Maybe New Zealand's number one podcast this new year, this new 2022. We'll see how it goes. But joining us today, we have a special guest with us, none other than Priscilla Lavili with us, influencer model from Brisbane, Australia. Joining us, freeing up her busy schedule for us today, this wonderful morning. We're grateful. What's up? How's it going?
Great.
Had some technical difficulties in the beginning, but we're in business, so we're grateful to be here. Anyways, we'll go off and give a brief introduction. Give us your name. Don't have to give us your age, where you're from, and if there's anywhere in the world where would you want to travel and why.
Okay. My name is Melefifita Priscilla Jane Alavili. I am 25. But age does not matter to Tongan families because that's my mom messaging asking where I am. If I could travel anywhere in the world, I would go to Tonga so I can be with my dad. Yes.
Love it. Yeah, I guess we're just waiting for all these restrictions and COVID to slow down so we could go travel to see our family. I guess moving on. So right now, I guess you're yourself, Priscilla. Right? You're influencer, do a bit of part-time modeling. Do a lot of stuff here and there. I guess give us a brief on what you've been doing now, like what you've been up to lately.
I don't really like the term influencer or model. It makes me feel so awkward. Because I don't want to be an influencer or a model. I've just been, to be honest, the past year I've just been doing a lot of inner healing, and just mostly a lot of inner healing. I did Fiji Fashion Week.
Nice.
I was lucky to do that because of COVID. They had to make it virtual.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I would have had that opportunity if it wasn't for COVID. So thank you, COVID, for that one good thing.
How they do it? How they do it virtual?
So all the designers, they just basically submitted videos of their models in their designs, and then they sent it to Fiji, and everyone just watched online.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yes.
That's super cool.
So that was cool. Yeah. That's pretty much what I've been doing.
Nice. Yeah, I guess there's a lot of things to do this coming year, 2022. Yes, and then talking about, right, Fiji, right, you're also, and your dad in Tonga or whatever, or where you want to go in Tonga, I guess, talking about culture and your roots, like, you're just Tongan, or is there any other ethnicity do you have in you?
I'm Tongan. My mom's Niuean.
Nice.
Her mom is Niuean, so my grandma's Niuean, and I don't know if I want to say this because every time I claim this part of me, I always get so much, like, people are not happy about it, but I am. My grandpa, my mom's dad, is actually part Samoan as well, and my dad has Samoan heritage as well. But yes, don't quote me on that because I don't want to get no hate.
Mixed of all the Polynesia islands here. That's super cool. I guess how much of that culture, because here on the podcast we interview like a lot of Pacific Islander or Maori, I guess, influences here in New Zealand and Australia, and I guess a big part of it is how much their culture has impacted their life. And then I guess flipping that over to you, how has your roots and your culture made an influence or impact in your life?
I think it plays a massive role in pretty much everything I do.
Yeah.
Especially my upbringing. I grew up in a very Tongan LDS household, so that's as strict as it gets. You got Polynesian and then a Christian faith, and so
Pretty strict.
yes, pretty strict, and it basically set the foundation for like the life I live now. I don't follow everything that I was taught, but everything that that makes sense to me, and I feel like it has a good reasoning behind it. I follow. Like there's a lot of the Tongan things that I don't really
want to associate with.
Yeah, I don't agree with. But majority of the things that I was taught growing up in the Tongan culture, it's still very solid with me, even if I modernize it. Like because I feel like there's not a lot of things that I can apply when I was younger to now. It doesn't really fit, so I'll mix it up, remix it a bit, and I make it work. But yeah, it's a huge part of who I am.
Yeah, I feel like, especially in the Polynesian culture, and especially if you're from a Christian background, like it does get pretty strict to a certain point, and then like it kind of I guess ingrains in you yourself personally, and then what you, I guess, because me myself, right, Samoan family, and like we take some Samoan things that we agree with, and then I guess kind of distance ourselves from ones that don't really that we don't really agree with. But coming from a Christian background and stuff like that, like the one thing that I guess really sets us apart from is just that family orientated upbringing, right? Family is everything to us in the Polynesian culture, and like it's just always good because you always hear that saying, right? Like your family's always got you. Like no matter, like you can have as many friends as you want, but no matter what, like your family's gonna be your number one.
Yes.
Awesome.
I agree with that.
And then speaking of, I guess, Polynesian upbringings, one thing that I guess has been pretty popular lately is, I guess, mental awareness or mental health, right? And just helping people, I guess, grow from that mindset and help people who are affected from that. And especially in our culture, in our community, right? I guess, how important do you think mental health is today in our society? And more particularly, like, in what ways can we improve in our culture? Because like if you think about, like, you know, us as, like, we don't really, like, it's just been a popular topic recently, right? Like, just not recently, but it's always been there. But I guess for us as a Polynesian culture and influences or families, right, we don't really speak about it. We don't really focus too much about mental awareness or mental health. And it can, I guess, for some people, like, it's just, I mean, a couple podcasts ago, I was able to talk to some people who are focusing on it, and they were just mentioning, you know, the importance of being able to express mental health and being a way to not express it, but being able to communicate those feelings and those emotions, and being able to be aware of it. So that's, I guess, just flipping that over to, like, how do you think that us as a community or culture can be able to help our society in that way?
Could I quickly text my mom? So
No, you're good.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. We can edit it out, so it's okay.
I feel like it's really, really important, the conversation of mental health. There's I guess, like you said, it's not a conversation that's just brand new, but it's a conversation that's being more normalized, and it's a really good thing to see. And I don't know if you know, but I have my own organization that raises awareness for mental health.
Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah. So we started it in 2018. We started in 2018.
Yeah.
Just after I came back from my mission, and my dad and we went and did like little workshops. A lot of them at church, but it was really cool. Not to like, I'm not trying to advertise myself.
No, you're good.
We haven't done anything since COVID, but something that I really liked that myself and my dad did with our organization is that we had the perspective of my generation and then my dad's generation. And my dad's generation, they're real tough, and it's not a conversation that they really like. And definitely. If it is a conversation that they have, instead of naming it by its name, which is mental health like mental illness, they'd rather something that we realize is they'd rather blame like ghosts or bad spirits, or they'd rather just like blame anything but mental health, because that's, to their generation, that's white people problem. We don't have we had that issue back in their time. But it's really cool because I like that like my own view on mental health changed when my dad's perspective changed, because I understood from my generation's standing point, from my generation, our generation struggling, but I didn't understand mental health properly until my dad understood. And it was really cool because when my dad understood mental health, it didn't just change him, it changed our whole family. And I feel like that's why it's so important. Mental health is such an important conversation to have within our families, because when you're able to give that name, give it its proper name, you also give space for learning and for understanding and for healing. And I hope I answered your question.
No, you did. Yeah, I think that's amazing. I guess what was the organization called? Sorry, you guys organized
Alavili Home.
Oh, okay, cool, nice, and that's super cool. I think it's so beneficial for, I guess, our community to be able to know that there's people like you out there who is actually doing things right about it. Because you're right, like we tend to think that it's a white people thing, or us as Polynesians, we don't really focus on it too much, and especially the generation above, like they're not used to being able to understand or express those different types of things, because back then there's a lot of different type of hardships and trials, and then right now, especially here, we have, I guess, not similar trials, but I guess similar things that affect us, whether it be social media, whether it be cyberbullying, or whether it be even like there's so many things that not only like you kind of like, I wouldn't say that people are just like it's a rare occasion where someone is diagnosed with mental health on its own, but I feel like most times, right, it can be experiences or troubles or things that have happened to them in the past that can I guess affect them or give them that thing where they do have mental health issues.
Yes. I feel like what is it called, like, just going off what you're saying, it is very rare to find mental health just born with it. But if you trace it back, it's usually from the line, your heritage, like your ancestors, and that, like it will literally carry with you. And I read something, and I heard something at a seminar I went to. I forgot what the doctor's name was, but it was a Samoan sister. She's and she's a psychologist, and she was saying that it's scientifically proven and it's historically proven within our Polynesian lineage. So
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's interesting. Yeah. Cause I would say, like, I mean, in rare cases, like the people that I know and the friends that I have that, I guess, who do deal with mental health or um, mental awareness, like they've been through, like, they usually go through something, right, in their lives that kind of affects them, and it can affect them in a negative way. And then I guess it's just how, like, a lot of us not really knowledgeable or not really know how to accommodate to the individual who's been going through that thing. And then so at the best case scenario, we just be like, hey, it's okay, like, things are gonna go all right, let's keep going. But, like, it's so easy just to say it, right, to people who've been through those things, right? Because there's so much more into it than just, saying, hey, get over it, let's go, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes, I get what you mean. I have what is it called? I don't know if you know, but I have BPD. Do you know what BPD is?
No.
Oh.
Wait.
So I have, do you want to guess?
No, I don't want to guess. I don't want to guess.
It's a horrible thing to say.
I'm a butcher.
So I have I'm diagnosed with borderline personality disorder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so, like, just like you said, it's not something that just popped up. Like, I was a really emotional kid, but I wasn't just born like that. There was trauma. There was a lot of things that led to that. And so, yes, hearing, just get over it. It'll be okay. Yeah. That's not a fun conversation.
Yeah, it's not really good on the individual, I guess, and just it doesn't really help, I guess, anybody. You know what I mean? Because then the fact that, like, let's say it's one of your closest friends, and then they go through something traumatic, and then you just be like, "Hey, man, it's gonna be good. Let's just keep going." Like, it's easy, like, because I mean, one thing, like, it's easy just to say that. Second of all, like, and then not only saying that, but taking time is important to the individual to be able to be a friend, to sit down and, like, actually not, I guess, address the concern at the straight away, but to just be able to to be there for the individual. And I guess that's something that we struggle with, is being there for someone at a certain time, that they need us, and then actually taking a step back from their own life to understand what's going on in theirs. Yeah. But yeah, and then I guess, like, going back, you did mention was it you did mention, all right, about, like, you yourself having oh, sorry, that was my button there. You did mention yourself, right, going through some traumatic experience that led up to, right, having like, how people have that experience relate up to mental illness or mental health, and I guess we talked a little about before, right, about I guess sexual abuse and stuff, and you actually being able to go through and to endure and to overcome that certain part of life. And I was actually going, when you mentioned it, I went over a couple stats and statistics here in New Zealand, and I guess one thing that when I was reading, I was just like, dang, like, I didn't even, like, me myself, I wasn't even aware of like how much like people actually go through. And me, I was going through some stats in New Zealand, and this is it here in Aotearoa. They say, like, 1 out of 3 may be abused before she turns 16, and 90 will be done by someone that she knows. And then, like, going down, I guess 1 in 7 boys may be abused by adulthood. But the one thing that got me was the end, where one of the stats where it says only 10 out of 100 actually report, right, these things, which is a huge number. So that means like 90% of people like that go through those things, like they don't even right report it, or they don't like they're unable to, I guess, communicate those things. And yeah, I guess, going to Priscilla, just go, what are your thoughts on that?
I think the numbers are around the same for here in Australia. I knew the numbers in 2019. I don't know right now the updated numbers, but it still makes me really sad. It still makes me really, really sad, and because I was that 90% that didn't do anything about it. Well, I did within closed doors with nothing, like no real consequences for the person who did those things to me. But I feel like that's why I decided that I would become part of that 10%. It's because growing up, I was always really concerned. I feel like there's different aspects that contribute to the 90 not going and reporting anything. Because I know for myself, I wouldn't do that because I was scared, because of it was kind of embarrassing and everything. But I'm an adult now, and I have a niece. I have 2 nieces, and one of my nieces is turning the age that I was when those things first started happening to me, when the sexual abuse first started. And I look at her and it breaks my heart, because I'm just like, that was me. And I'm grateful because I know nothing's happening to her. But if something were to happen to her, I would want her to feel as protected as possible. And I was able to get that with my family. But it wasn't enough for that person to stop, and that will always be something that will hurt me. And so I'm currently taking the steps to be a part of that 10%, and press charges, and try my best to end that kind of trauma. Yeah,
100%. I guess it's such a sensitive topic to talk about, because it's happened to a few people, and I guess, like what we said, that 90% that don't, address it, or that 10% do. I guess, you said, you were there, the 90% for a bit. I guess, what kind of gave you that courage to, or what supported and helped you go through from the 90 to that 10% to actually, to take a step forward and be like, no, I'm not having this anymore, like this is what I need to do?
My family, 100% my family, especially my parents. When my dad's understanding of mental health grew, it also gave him the ability to open his view on many other things. And so when I came to my dad about what had happened to me, what happened to me, the response was different, because when I was in that 90%, I was younger, and that was with a separate occasion. But when I decided that I wanted to be a part of that 10% of doing something and taking that stand, my dad, his response was, it wasn't angry, it wasn't like confusion. It was just, I just want whatever you want. And that reassurance was everything. Because what Islanders, we like 100%, there's a different way that normal Pacific Islanders would take it, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted justice the right way, and everyone else was on board in my family, and that was the one thing that I needed, because I didn't care. Like, I know heaps of people, because I was very vocal about what happened to me on social media, and everything. And even in person, I'm very vocal about it. No one will shut me up about it. But I don't care what anyone else has to say because my family are 100% backing me with this and they're doing it the right way. So.
And that's, I guess, yeah, family. But that's where family comes in. Just plays a huge role in impacting on life. Yeah, and I guess like just thinking about that, it's just I'm just trying to process it myself. I guess in what ways from that experience and then to you now, like just for those people who are listening and who are watching wherever they may be, like who are going through the same things, and what advice, or I guess what piece of advice could you yourself give to those people who are struggling in the 90% and trying to make it over to that 10%? Because it's not like, I'm not saying it's like easy and something that I can't understand because I haven't actually been through that myself, but trying to, I guess, process it. Like for me myself, like if that happened, to someone that I knew, like just imagine like just all the things that wherever they may be, especially as someone that where they're going to be, how you're going to feel in the same area, right, same place. And I guess there are probably people out there trying to wonder like what piece of advice could you give to them that are going through the same thing as you?
I think advice I would give to someone going through the same, or who has gone through the same thing as me, is just heal. Do everything in your power to heal properly. That's my key word, is properly, because it's not, I feel like your focus should never be from going from that 90 who you never say nothing to the 10%. That shouldn't be your focus. Your focus should be healing and being able to really deal with the sexual abuse that you experience, the trauma that you experience. Because I thought I was healing properly, but I was not. I latched onto anything that made me forget or made me not feel that. And that's the last thing that anyone who goes through what we went through to do. Like, heal properly. Go lean on people that genuinely love you and care for you, and understand that it's okay that you lose people in that process, because there's only people, and that's okay. You can't keep everybody that you had before you went through sexual abuse, because many people, they're gonna say a lot of things and they're gonna think a lot of things, and it will hurt you, but that has nothing to do with you. You just have to continually do everything that supports you in the most loving and the most kindest way to yourself. Yes.
Love that.
Yeah.
I love it. I guess yeah. Support is 100% important, I guess, especially when people go through something traumatic and experience like that. I guess, moving on, what does authentic mean to you?
I actually Googled it.
Let's go.
I'm one of those people that, like, I know words, but then I don't know, like, the actual definition.
Yeah.
So I wanted to Google it, because I was just like, when I first read the question, I was like, authentic, or like being you, just 100% you. And I was basically on point with that. But for myself, I feel like authentic means everything you are, the good, the bad, everything. But like you embrace it.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause, yeah.
Yeah.
Just because that's my definition.
Love the definition, 100%. I guess a lot of yeah, you're 100% correct. It's about being you. A lot of people in our day to day, right? We struggle to be ourselves. We struggle to be ourselves, but we also struggle to find ourselves. And that's a big issue, I think, in today's society. Is like there's so much going on in our lives, and sometimes we forget to take a step back, and we forget to reflect, which is why 2022 able to reflect on our 2021 and move on to 2022 with bigger, brighter goals that can help us be the better version of ourselves. And one thing that we talked about is in previous podcasts about being authentic is vulnerability, being able to be a vulnerable self, to be able to accept the good parts and the bad parts about ourselves, and to express our vulnerability for ourselves. I guess, yeah. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I think you said that beautifully.
Oh, thank you. Nah, yeah, and I guess I think that's why we try focusing on authentic podcasts is we try to focus on being authentic, being ourselves, being genuine. Not only building up our communities with, people who have achieved success or trials that they went through, but also understanding that they can be themselves and they can improve and grow. But yeah, we're grateful to be able to have this time with you, Priscilla, and to get you on the show and to share your experiences and your thoughts, and also about sexual abuse and how we can help that 90%, right, and to move on to that 10%. Is there, I guess, anything you would like to say or address before we close this up?
No, thank you for having me.
No
and
worries.
I wish you all the best of luck of being the #1 podcast in Aotearoa.
Let's go.
In 2022.
No, you
Speak it into existence.
gotta profess, gotta manifest it.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being here. And guys, we'll make sure we'll put her platforms here at the bottom of the description below. Thanks for joining us today, guys. If you're listening out there, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts. And then also, yeah, have a good year, guys. Make sure you guys are listening. If you're listening in, tuning in. Have a good year. Be strong. Be focused. Continue to do all that you can. And 2022 is here for you. This is your year. Remember that. All right, guys. We'll take it in from there. Till next time. All right.